What's up, gamers, hi guardians, and hello internet. It's that time of week again where the Destiny 2 community cares not for what Bungie has done, but what they have twid for us lately. Let's take a look. This week in Destiny, September 28th in the Lord's year of 2023. This one's brought to us by Sam. What up, Sam? Happy Twids Day, Guardians. We are back this week with some previews and new rewards to earn. How have you been enjoying Season of the Witch Story? How many altars have you completed so far? Thoughts on Checkmate? Speaking of Checkmate, keep reading to learn more about some changes coming soon. Make sure you're sounding off on social so our teams can read your feedback. First up, let's refresh what we talked about last week. If you're looking for a recap of what happened in last week's Twid, be sure to check out my Twid video, link in the description below. Topics for this week: new rewards to earn, a preview of next week's Checkmate weapons update, Gunsmith focused world engrams. New Nightfall and Trials rewards. Have you jumped into this week's Nightfall yet? If not, there's a new precision bow for you to earn. Speaking of new weapons, when Trials comes back this weekend, we have a new grenade launcher in that loot pool too. Let's check out what we've got coming. New Nightfall bow, pre-Astyanax 4, precision bow, solar, Cassinoid foundry, left column, perpetual motion, archer's tempo, perfect float, shoot the loot, enlightened action, and rangefinder. And in the right column, incandescent, collective action, successful warm-up, opening shot, explosive head, precision instrument. New Trials grenade launcher, Cataphract GL3, adaptive heavy frame grenade launcher. Strand from the Amalon foundry. Left column, impulsive amplifier, envious assassin, field prep, slick draw, enlightened action, auto-loading holster, demolitionist. And in the right column, Cascade Point, Chain Reaction, Explosive Light, Hatchling, Full Court, Vorpal Weapon, Bait and Switch. Checkmate weapons update. For Checkmate initial weapon tuning, we wanted to make sure that our mid-range primary weapon options had a bit of a room to breathe, so we balanced the other weapon types somewhat conservatively. We did this because in early playtest, it quickly became obvious that a sandbox with dramatically reduced uptime for special ammo and abilities introduced a new issue to the game. With most of their counters no longer able to see consistent play, it enabled fast time to kill TTK, primary weapons that operate at the extreme edges of either close or long range to dominate. Diving with submachine guns and sidearms became increasingly hard to deal with as players learned that other primary weapons could not kill as fast. And our mid-range weapon options struggle to compete. Similarly, when we reduced the lethality of close-range primary weapons to bring them more in line with our mid-range options, scout rifles became oppressive without the threat of sniper rifles to keep them in check and prevent players from engaging at extremely long range. In addition, we wanted to avoid initially making any extremely jarring shifts in TTK. For example, things like 140 hand cannons taking 4 shots to kill across the board, so we limited how much we moved TTK in general. After seeing Checkmate in the wild for a week, we saw there was a substantial gap between hand cannon performance and the rest of the primary weapon sandbox. So, while keeping our original goals in mind of allowing mid-range weapons to shine in this mode, we are making a limited set of balance changes designed to narrow the gap without pushing faster TTK primary weapons back into dominance. For example, submachine guns and sidearms will not revert to killing in under 0.80 seconds due to the increased player health pools, but we do not want to give them a little more forgiveness and encourage some additional variety among weapon choices. Weapons like adaptive and rapid-fire pulse rifles have come back to their standard optimal TTK, while most other weapons have moved to with a single shot difference. While most of our tuning is focused on bringing other archetypes up closer to the top level of primary weapon performance, we are going to be reducing hand cannon damage. This will not affect their optimal TTK against standard resilience, but will instead act as a reduction in effective range and reduce their forgiveness and effectiveness against higher resilient targets. We look forward to playing with these changes in the live game alongside you and continue to iterate on the sandbox as needed. Here are the weapon changes coming to Checkmate next week. Increased damage penalty on Devil's Ruin Laser Beam, Fighting Lion, and bows. Reduced damage penalty on sidearms, submachine guns, and scout rifles. Increased bonus damage on auto rifles and pulse rifles. Reduced bonus damage on hand cannons. Corrected an issue that was allowing Vex Mythoclast to benefit from the bonus damage for special ammo fusion rifles. Gunsmith focusing enters the chat. Hake, Amalon, Weist, and Suros. Starting in Season 23, Banshee 44 will offer focusing options for select Foundry weapons. Gunsmith focusing is designed to offer players a way to chase after their dream roll of older Foundry weapons while reducing the ever-growing size of the legendary world pool. Weapons that will be available. The select focusing options that Banshee 44 will offer are for weapons released from Season 16 up to Season 19, which means that these weapons are at least 4 seasonal releases old, i.e. 1 year. These weapons will no longer be obtainable from legendary engram world drops and instead will only be available from Gunsmith engrams and focusing. Season 23 pool and focusing. Suros. Cantata 57, Syncopation 53, Fugue 55, Staccato 46, Pizzicato 22, Fioritura 59, Hake, Palmyra B, Percy's D, Raghill D, Enyo D, Boudica C, Lodbrok C, Weist, Crate, Redback 5SI, Funnelweb, Lunalata 4B, Taipan 4FR, Jaraaka 3SR, Amalon, Snorri FR5, Typhon GL5, Agma PR6, Galu RR3, Amit AR2, or Vandal FR6. In Season 24, we are planning to update this list with Season 20 weapons for existing foundries, as well as adding a new category for Field Forged weapons. Gunsmith focusing will also be replacing Banshee 44's 6-count weapon selection. The following weapons will be moved out of the World Pool. These will not be available from Gunsmith engrams or focusing, but will instead be occasionally available from Xur instead. Contingency Plan, Legal Action 2, The Number, Memory Interdict, Pallades Corrector, the Deicide, the Vision, Stochastic Variable. How will these weapons rotate? Banshee 44 will offer 2 foundries at a time, e.g. Suros and Hake. After each daily reset, one of those foundries will rotate out for another, effectively allowing each foundry to have the spotlight for 2 days in a row. For Season 23, the rotation schedule looks like Day 1, Amalon Suros. Day 2, Suros Hake. Day 3, Hake Weist. Day 4, Weist Amalon. After the 4th day, the rotation repeats itself. This is subject to change as we add more foundries in future releases. How much will they cost? Gunsmith focusing costs will be in parity with how much focusing ritual weapons cost. 3 Gunsmith engrams, 5,000 glimmer. How can I get Gunsmith engrams? We are aware that ranking up Gunsmith reputation alone is not the ideal way to earn Gunsmith engrams. We have taken that into account and have decided to include more ways to obtain Gunsmith engrams. Ranking up Gunsmith reputation, Lost Sector completions, normal, Legend, solo and platinum, Master, solo and platinum at 20, 40, and 60% respectively. Free roam chest, 20% chance. Player support report. Fall in right into fall. No, I'll show myself out. Error codes. Error codes. We are continuing to investigate ongoing reports of error codes in Destiny 2. Please stay tuned to @BungieHelp for further updates and report issues to us in our #help forum. Error codes. Crota's End 48-hour challenge mode emblem. For the 3% of you that have completed the 48-hour challenge, check out the TWID. You can read it yourself. Known issues. While we continue investigating various known issues, here's a list of the latest issues that were reported to us in our #help forum. Players can sometimes become soft locked during the bladed path by progressing through different steps of the quest at the same time. The Path of Burning Steps Titan Exotic and associated ornaments no longer change appearance when the Solar Weapon Boost perk is active. The Horror Frost Z and Icefall Mantle Titan Exotics are using the incorrect cooldowns. While inspecting weapon details for items stored in player vaults, the weapon perk icons may no longer appear. Some players who did not fully complete the Season of the Deep story missions may be blocked from completing the current Season of the Witch weekly story mission until they finish the previous season story. Returning players who did not fully complete the A Guardian Rises intro quest prior to the launch of Lightfall are unable to obtain the Learning Light quest. Multiple pieces of armor can cause obstructions when aiming down sights on the Tessellation exotic fusion rifle. For a full list of emergent issues in Destiny 2, players can review our known issues article. Players who observe other issues should report them to #help forum. Jumpmaster Movie of the Week. Hippie says, when Jared Gross and I first started Veteran Vanguard here at Bungie, as veterans ourselves, it was important to us that our teams felt cared for and supported, especially those that may be struggling with the difficult transition back to the civilian world. Never in our wildest dreams do we anticipate getting to work with that incredible Team Rubicon team, a veteran nonprofit organization that does so much good in the world. When the Bungie Foundation, Team Rubicon, and Veteran Vanguard combined their forces, their amazing Jumpmaster emote, emblem, and spiffy new pin were born. If you missed that announcement, check that out right here. But before you go, you should totally check out this #Destiny2 Movie of the Week pick because it shows off the new emote in an authentically badass way, with some Titan shenanigans at the end, because naturally. The Jumpmaster, Team Rubicon, Bungie, Veteran Vanguard, all that information I did a previous video on with the full video from Team Rubicon. I'm going to leave the link for that in the description below. Movie of the Week, all okay, Jumpmaster. This one's by Haterade. So, who broke it? Artist of the Week, Bruno. The crafting was certainly something, a challenge to fix, but one of those things that some of you enjoy very much and sparked the creativity to not only make the most unfathomably broken weapons in the history of Destiny, but also some fun short comics like the one below. I'm also a Parks and Recreation fan, Pollux. Art of the Week, The Crafting Mystery by Pollux, aka Hayakuana via Twitter X. There you go. It's a cartoon for you. And there we have it for this week's TWID. Hey, you're still on my line. We officially reached this time of the year where the nights are longer than the days here in the Pacific Northwest. So it's about time to transform into the coziest version of yourself and jump into your favorite Destiny 2 activity until the sun comes up. Well, maybe not that long. Sleep and touching grass before it's covered in snow is good too. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you next week. Same place, same-ish time. Stay crafty, Sam. Thanks, Sam. And there you have it. This week in Destiny for September 28th, 2023. A lot of good info in there, especially the crafted weapons coming from the Gunsmith. How do you feel about the crafted weapons? Are all weapons in Destiny 2 going to be craftable and focusable now? Who knows? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, Guardians, be safe, stay vigilant, and as always, may the light protect us all. Thank you for watching. Likes and shares are very much appreciated, and subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Peace.